Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I'm back with another Starcraft 2 1 versus 1 bot AI cast. We have got ourselves what should be a good one here today. It's going to be a Terran versus random match, which for those of you that can guess, it's a Xena game, being the top random bot. In fact, one of the better bots, the second highest ranked overall, which is very impressive for a bot that is, well, plays all three races and has a variety of strategies. It's a lot more work. And then we've got VeTerran, a awesome macro Terran bot that kind of has its own unique style. It seems that VeTerran's games are always great to watch. And so here we are on the map, Hard Led, the AI edition. We'll see how this game's gonna go. We've got Xena saying Roach Rush, Roach all in, 12 pool, 3 hatch, Burrow Roach, and then giving us the odds on those games. It's like Roach Rush may be the preferred strategy here, whereas VeTerran is saying strategy brute force. I'm all for that, as VeTerran can be pretty aggressive. And we'll see how it's going to go between these two. But before we get too far into this match, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to go ahead and click that like button. This is going to be one of the last videos that I record prior to packing up and moving. For those of you that are fellow nerds, I think you'll relate with basically if you're moving, the last thing you pack up is your PC, but then the first thing you unpack is also your PC. So that's pretty much the case with me. However, it will be a while before I'm back home and till I'm all set up and can do some videos again. So yeah, thanks so much to everyone that does support these videos by leaving a comment saying more bots. Click that like button if you haven't already, and if you're not subscribed, go ahead and do that. It is free and you can get notified whenever I do put up a new video or post. So we do have VeTerran going for a scout, and all the good bots have some level of cheese defense. Now, VeTerran did scout out that it was a Roach one. It completely depends how the bot author handles this, though. He did scout the lack of a base, so presumably if VeTerran does have any kind of early game cheese detection, those alarm bells should be going off. However, we do see these few Marines moving on out, and there's already Roaches crossing the map, and these Roaches are going to be basically unkillable on account of them having burrow done in about 5 seconds. It means they'll just burrow and stay alive, so Xena's Roach Rush being built off the back of that. And for Terran early game, it's not easy to get out defense against something like this. So VeTerran, very lucky that it's building a siege tank. It's got the wall on the high ground. However, Xena is going to start poking at the door, and SCV is being pulled. Marines are shooting away on these Roaches, and the tank does pop out. The tank sieging up could be big. Will it kill off one of these Roaches? No, those Roaches actually burrow pretty much at the perfect time with that tank being set up. And now the Marines are still constantly trying to engage these Roaches. That's not great, as it does mean that they're just kind of bleeding out unnecessarily. The Medivac is healing up some of these Marines, but they will never kill off these Roaches. The tank, fortunately, missing the friendly fire, and the Medivac is keeping these units alive, but there we see some friendly fire as the tank deletes a Marine. These Roaches unburrowing can cause problems. We do have VeTerran at least getting out a Raven, so that will pretty much signal the end of this Roach Rush. Another Roach does unburrow, however, it just promptly burrows again. So this Raven getting out will be very important for VeTerran. It is just being aggressive, though, with its build order of brute force. It just wants to attack, attack, attack. And so these two strategies kind of headed each other off. Like, I'm not sure VeTerran's going to get that much done, and Xena didn't get that much done either. We see 2 tanks out for the Terran now, so VeTerran is going to be more than safe. And that Raven is out now, so that's going to be big, meaning these Roaches have got no retreat capability. Out comes the Raven. It's even going to drop down an auto turret just to get that damage out. And the presence of this Raven will allow these Roaches to be killed off after they've felt like they're immortal the entire game. These Marines are taking their time, but they will clean up all those Roaches on this side of the map. So now VeTerran can move out, get up the expansion, all the while Xena is just making more and more roaches on its side of the map, not really macroing up too much. It's got natural base up, squeezing out the odd drone here and there, but there's really not that much on the macro side for Xena. It's a pretty straightforward build, make roaches and try to win the game. VeTerran's tanks are gonna make or break this game, I think, for the blue Terran, seeing as how if they're unsieged, I think Xena could really punish VeTerran, but if the tanks are sieged up, these roaches are not gonna have an easy time getting damage done. And with a bunker going up for VeTerran, that is just icing on the cake. So all is looking pretty well for the blue Terran bot, and it passes the early game cheese check that a lot of bots have to put up with in the early development. If you go to program a bot, I imagine you just have to deal with a lot of cheese. And so these best bots do indeed have really great early game defense. We saw VeTerran react to the roaches, get out a Raven, and is just completely fine. Some of these roaches are coming on in once again, but that is not going to succeed. As Xena says, initiating tactical repositioning. In other words, get out a dodge. So these slow roaches are just waddling away. We do have double Evo on the way for Xena, so it is preparing to try and macro out of this game, but it's in a very rough macro position. I mean, that lair and the Evos are going to be done, but I don't know if it'll even be able to afford the upgrades it potentially wants. Glue reconstitution is important. Tunneling claws could be on the way next, but I'm not sure that Xena is going to have that long, as these roaches are engaging the Marines on the front line, but here come the siege tanks, and once they start shelling away, it's going to be really problematic for the red Zerg. Xena does do a good job of avoiding the tank shots, and it looks like VeTerran is actually going to retreat all the way home. Creep Tumor is going to be fine, as VeTerran is not moving to clean those up, which seems like a slight oversight. 1-1 is now on the way for Xena, so it will be heading towards really great upgrades for its army. The roach speed will be important, as it is presumably just going to keep on pumping out these roaches. And now, VeTerran still just macroing up on its side of the map, getting up to a very, very healthy economy compared to that of Xena. A Terran that's ahead on SCVs, and then also dropping mules will be able to make a lot more than the Zerg. Xena is a bit of a Hail Mary bot in regards to keeping with the strategy. There is no transition here. It's just this roach attack will succeed. That's the plan anyway. Now the roaches are splitting up, walking forward. A very interesting pathing there. We'll see if they're able to break this location. It's going to be difficult. However, VeTerran does siege up at a building third base, so this does split up its forces. Two of those tanks at the back, so really just one tank on the front to defend this location. The Ravens are still in the skies, though, to help defend this, but look at this. Xena's aggression as it surges on forward, able to kill off the tank, and then the rest of the bio is not actually that strong for VeTerran, so looks like its third base will be canceled. It has to fall all the way back to the tanks, but Xena is actually coming on in, just going for the throat as it takes out all three siege tanks with a very sudden attack. VeTerran thinking it was safe having a tank, building a bunker at that third, but no, Xena went for a very great attack, showcasing just how good the aggressive micro is for that Zerg. Just to program that is incredibly difficult, so well done to the bot author. Now VeTerran is getting ready for a bit of a counter swing, looking to push on out, but roaches are still good against everything that VeTerran has. Like, the tanks really were the main anti-roach tech, and so I'm not sure VeTerran's going to get too much done here. Like, it's 18 roaches against like 10 Marines, 3 Cyclones. That's not enough for the Terran to have a successful attack here, that's for sure. VeTerran is getting up a third base behind this once again, so it is trying to expand and play this out, which is important to see, whereas Xena is still just in roach mode, just getting out 2-2 as well, despite the fact that it's got no economy. It's saying, no, I want these roaches upgraded, and that definitely will pay off, as they're going to have an incredible upgrade lead against VeTerran. VeTerran is getting out more tanks and rebuilding those. It's even bringing the siege tanks to the front. I think it's very important that the blue Terran retreats, though, or it could be in a lot of trouble here. As, I mean, it's bullying right now, but the math is not mathing for this one. For the blue Terran, it's still trying to bully Xena, so we're actually seeing a bit of passiveness on Xena's side of the map. It plays safe until it doesn't and just charges forward. For now, though, it is just poking and prodding. Vikings are getting some of the overlords, which does supply block Xena. But VeTerran would be better off just macroing and playing this one out. We are seeing a bunker go up, which is important. We'll see if it can actually get up this base or not. And now we are seeing a fusion core on the way for the Terran. That should, in theory, be checkmate against the Zerg. But the 2-2 of Xena cannot be slept on if it just builds up and goes for another attack once that's done. The bot author seems to have prepared sort of multiple levels to this aggression. So while it's still going all out on the aggression, it is still there is still a distinct plan for the Zerg, and that's going to be to try to win off the back of the 2-2 upgrade timing. I think we'll see if Xena does attack on in. I mean, that tank count was reset, so there's only 2 out now. There's a fusion core, so yeah, it's like, oh no, BCs could be terrible, but if the Zerg does attack soon, that's going to be very difficult for VeTerran to overcome this much Zerg. It's 100 supply of roaches, so VeTerran's moving on out once again. Queens have spread creep to the door of the Terran pretty much, and VeTerran is trying to get out a 4th base while this is going on, but I think it's just a matter of time until Xena attacks. If it waits till 200 supply, I think that would be a very big oversight. Now we're starting to see it move out. Xena is going for blood with 50 roaches on deck, charging across the map. There's a 4th base attempt that has been scouted. I don't know if if VeTerran will hold on to this. In fact, I'm pretty positive it won't. Barring any huge miss micro by the Zerg, the Terran army is just getting volleyed down. There is 1 siege tank at the back. However, we saw Xena deal with one of those with ease earlier. We're going to see that again as the tank goes down. The bunker will be next. The Zerg is just shooting away on everything, so the 3rd has been abandoned. Now these roaches are a little unsure of what to do, though, as they do attack the 4th base that's building. That construction has been abandoned, so some of these roaches are taking siege tank shots and retreating. Xena does get some good damage done, and now it looks like it's going to go back on in, fighting VeTerran away from its siege tanks. Looks like another tank is coming forward. It could be vulnerable as roaches do go up this ramp, and there's the micro of Xena actually padding those units forward to the high priority target and then getting the kill off it. Now, unfortunately for Xena, I think time is running out, as VeTerran has managed to squeeze out 1 battle cruiser with another one not far behind, and Xena is finally getting up a 3rd base, but to macro from this position is not going to be easy. All hope was for it to get the kill there. It got damage done, and did it actually kill off the command center? Pardon my observing, it actually did kill off that orbital command. VeTerran is starting to mine out too. The main base is mined out. There's no long distance mining at that 3rd. And it looks like the Terran is still just turtling up, while Xena is now getting up a 3rd base. So it does have some redundancy built into it. It's rebuilding all those roaches. I can only imagine now it is waiting for 200 supply before going in once again. A fairly simple but effective strategy here. And I mean, VeTerran doesn't have that much supply. Like, it's got 2 siege tanks again. The BCs will be good, but they won't actually deal that much damage to roaches. They're notoriously slow. The Vikings won't help at all, really. And so these roaches could very well get another successful attack off, despite VeTerran having battle cruisers in the air. Xena is almost maxed out at this point. Just going to fast forward a little bit till we hit that point, as I think we all know that's when it's going to get good. Xena now at 200 supply. Is it going to go for it? Not yet. Waiting for the roaches to be done, apparently. And go. The last roach is building. Does it go? Not yet. So Xena is just sitting back, unfortunately. I think the window to attack is closing rapidly, as we do have the 3rd now up for VeTerran, so it's getting a big economic boost. There is going to be a 3rd battle cruiser out, but oh, here we go. The roaches are now moving forward for Xena. Okay, it does elect to turn back after eating some tank shots and seeing those battle cruisers. All of a sudden, Xena wakes up, it seems. Seeing that there was those air units, it goes, oh geez, I gotta make some anti-air. So it is now getting out a Hydra Den, Zerglings, melee attacks, some Spore Crawlers to be an answer to the battle cruisers. I think that is going to be a problem, though, the presence of these BCs. There's only 3 queens to defend. These roaches need to attack now. It looks like Xena may be making the wrong decision, though, if it doesn't attack on in. Pardon me, I think I was running at the slightly slower game speed for a second there. Looks like these roaches are all grouping up. Xena is going to have to surge forward and attack. Xena's in full-on retreat mode, but it does just need to take on this Terran army. Instead, it's being shelled by the siege tanks. Looks like Xena's kind of waking up again, but yeah, bad micro there. Xena was not prepared to take the engagement, and if it had just attacked, I think it would have succeeded. But in the end, VeTerran, I think, will close this one out as the roaches do surge forward. The siege tanks, yeah, get off some huge shots, though. Drones are running all over the place. Battle cruisers are still shooting. And, yeah. I think Xena's just had a bit of a hard time there. You gotta give it to the bot author. This roach style is very impressive, and I'm sure it gets lots of kills on the ladder. Once again, that selection bias is leading us to see more games that Xena loses than it wins, I think, when I do click on the longer replays. It does have some longer Terran versus Terrans, in which I assume it actually does go into late game macro, or maybe plays its mass BC strategy. But yeah, well done to VeTerran for kind of passing the Xena test. I was curious whether Xena could have got the win if it was a bit more aggressive. I don't see a reason why the bot author wouldn't program it to attack when it hits that 200 supply. It took its time, and then seeing the BCs, it did just retreat and say, oh no, I do need anti-air. Whereas I think in that case it would have been better to actually attack. So I see the logic of the bot author, but it just wasn't it just was a bit counterintuitive. It's like, you got 80 roaches. You're not gonna macro out of that one, I don't think. You gotta go for the kill. And so, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to go ahead and click that like button. Leave a comment down below saying more bots if you want to see more of these bot games. Join the Discord, which is linked down below. And if you watched all the way to the end, but you're not subscribed, go ahead, click that subscribe button. And then there is the bell icon to get notified whenever I do put up a new video. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much for tuning in.